Well, this is Voting Voices. My name is Miriam Uduack Mensah, and this was MX24. I'm super excited to have this conversation. You know, this is one of those conversations that you're about to start and you're wondering if you would need 1 hour to do all of this. But hopefully we have enough time to dissect all the conversations right here. Now, you know what we do on Voting Voices. We get to have important conversations that border on the development of this country. And this individual we're about to speak to, he has proven to be one that loves the country, has gone every length and breadth to make sure that what he believes this country should be is loud enough in the ears of Ghanaians. So let's get straight into it. We are joined by Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah.
Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know, bro, for though.
May I say?
We are joined by. Hey, see, I know anyway.
You wake up bro for Nina.
Maybe bro for not connection right, I mean, but we will try our best to see what.
Yes, please. No, but you're a fantastic young man. You're very intelligent.
If you say so.
No, I have listened to.
I'm humbled.
No, you're very intelligent. Sometimes I wonder how you do it. Get to understand politics in other countries, how diplomacy works, and all of these things. I've watched your programs and I'm super impressed.
I think I take my time to study things, and because this is what I want to do, I devote enough time for it.
Yeah,
I wanted to understand what happens at the international plane, because it looks like Ghana and for when they are growing up or when they are looking for the people's power, they seems to have all these fantastic ideas, and yet when power is given to them, everything goes. You know what I mean. So I wanted to understand if there is something at the top which is not making them being able to take the kind of right decisions that.
Right.
That is what sort of led me to study international relations and diplomacy as a master's course. So I took a 1-year course to understand the international geopolitics and dynamics of the world, and how unipolar power system or multipolar, bipolar power system, how the big giants of the world tries to control. So when it comes to that aspect, I have knowledge in, because I take my time and I study.
You study.
When it comes to almost every other aspect in terms of law. Okay, so that one, I woke up one day and I thought that, why are people doing certain things? Why is the law this? Because we are a nation of laws.
Absolutely.
If I say I want to help the people, I must be able to understand what is the position of the law vis-a-vis what the people are doing, so I can marry both and help them. And all. So I went to study law, which I'm doing. It's not for the fancy title of being called a lawyer.
A lawyer.
It's just about you wanting to. So if you say I'm intelligent, I don't know if I am intelligent, but I take my time to study things, and I get it done.
Makes absolute sense. Makes absolute sense. But let's go back to growing up. What was growing up like for you, Okatakyie? And before we get into that, so Ghanaians at some point knew you as Leo Mensah.
Right.
Why the change of name?
When I became sensible, then I changed it.
Explain, please.
Okay, so I don't know why we still give slavish name to our people in the name of Christian names. So my father gave me a certain name which I cannot relate with. Leo. What is Leo? So these were names that were forced down our truth by the colonial masters. And there's something called Stockholm Syndrome. When you abuse people for so long, they fall in love with the oppressor, or which even long before, when the oppressor is gone, we transfer the nonsense onto our kids. So I asked myself, will I ever meet any white man who is called Afrifa, or Achemai, or Mauli? Or the answer is no.
No.
So if I will not meet a white man who is called Afrifa, Mauli, Achemai, why then must I bear their name?
Right.
So I woke up and I said, let me go and change it. No. So long before even I changed it, I was given the name that I preferred to my kids, Afrifa Mensah. So the name is Afrifa Mensah as a surname.
As a surname, okay.
And that's what it is.
Awesome.
Because when you go to America, I think the excuse that we black people, because we feel inferior, we feel very inferior to ourselves, we say, oh, Bruni to me more.
Until
why must they mention your name? Meanwhile, people coming from China, they go to America, we don't share. And the Americans will learn how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
People coming from Russia, they come with Vladimir Cheskovich, and Americans will learn how to pronounce it. Only in Africa that we say the white man will not be able to mention Okechukwu, they cannot mention Mauli, Mauga. So we must force to belong, and we give these names. So for me, when I have a baby with you and you give the person a white man's name, you have to go and look for the father of the child. It's not me.
That's not going to be you.
No, it's not. Certainly not. Because if it's my son or my daughter, why does he have a funny name? And I think it's time that we must begin to look into that. We must not begin to pass on slavish mentality onto the next generation. So Leo Mensah, yes, the ladies were called, hi Leo, hi Leo.
You go back to childhood. Growing up, what was it like? Paint a picture of your childhood to us.
Unless you ask specifics, but by and large, whatever growing up looked like is exactly what you guys are seeing today. I was that stubborn child, a very troublesome person. Every day my name was being mentioned. I confront people, I fight. I just a school uniform near Toby too. So, and my mother was a very strict person. My father was calm but steady. And I mean, and out of the 10 kids, I was the one that was beaten the most. Because I'm stubborn. Meanwhile, when you beat me right now, you're almost the same thing. I mean, nothing will change. They do, baby. My mother would tell me that, whoa, say, come on, dear, grow featuring that. Sometimes it was it. And the first, no, I didn't pageant and one can we met So I was that troublesome child.
Yeah. So you agree that you're a very troublesome person, even now as Ghanaians?
Well, I think it was just something in it. Okay, looking for something, very inquisitive, very curious. And I've always stood up for the rights of others. So maybe to send to Kwana Kura, you be near Kuntokwana, be ready, and my boy, and and it has always been like
it has always been. And that's like translated into your
into me becoming what I've become.
What you've become now. You got into media, was on radio. I told you the very first time I met you, I used to listen to you a lot, and I thought you were like
some old man.
Okay, guys, let me tell you.
But I'm old.
How old are you?
I will say it. I will say it.
Because so can we say
I won't say it. I mean, I like the mystery around me that people begin to. Even when it comes to my educational background, so many people have doubt as to whether I attended what I say I attended. And I leave it at that.
Why?
Because any human being that doesn't have mystery around you, then you are nothing. But I'm so confident of the things I've done in my world, where I've been, and it's like a design of nature. Even going to, for instance, Mfantsipim, it wasn't by choice. Because at that time, I did not even have an idea what Mfantsipim stood for. The prestige nature of going to Mfantsipim, I did not. You know, a guy growing up in Kumasi, I attended St. George's International, but that was before St. George's International. I attended Bomfa United Primary. Then I was moved to Swami. I went to stay in Swami, St. George's International. And there's a very prestigious school in and around Kropo, Swami. Then we moved to come live in Bwedi, Kumasi Bwedi. My auntie was an Apia, one of the lecturers in KNUST. So we ended up in KNUST GSS. That is where I completed. And when I completed, you know, a Kumasi boy will want to go to Prempeh or WAS. So when I was about to see a certain lecturer, teacher then, said, no, you, I see a toe, Kumasi dear, ube stubborn. So the idea of me having to go to Mfantsipim was a way of getting rid of me.
You.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. So they sent me. We had me because me my yaka. Also on Kasabe all throughout the period. So you took my big sister, Kuyenyako. On the day of YBA school, I come Mfantsipim school. No? And you nam ko to Kraba market near ko torture box. And I tell you what, since the first term, I'm in the torture box to Koy. I'm for be uncle Buda. To same school. Oh, but I survived. I say, you're too stubborn. I'm in Penny Grant.
Is it 2 hours to action or do watch school?
Okay, well, my mess rabid that. I don't with the mayor. But I still managed to go through it. I am a survivor. Whenever I am put, you throw dirt on me and flowers will grow on me. I find myself anywhere in the world and I survive it. So this idea of people mentioning my name left, right, center, maybe it's not that it's come to the international, the national scene that people are hearing.
But you've always had to.
I've always had to be that guy that I went to Swami, the same. Every day I wake up, my name.
You're talking about this, and it's funny. We're all laughing about it.
Right.
But then, was there any point in your life that you felt like, nah, man, this is not the life. I would want to do better with myself?
I'm sure during those moments where you don't really understand and you've not accepted yourself, you wish you were somebody else that people will accept and like. But growing up and looking back, I think I don't regret anything. I was just being me, being a child, growing up, and whatever a child that has something in him, not the usual. I used not to accept that. I thought I was probably a usual guy and all that. Then my wife would look at me and say, wouldn't be normal. So now looking back, I don't regret. But then I wanted to belong. I wanted to feel accepted. So sometimes you sit there and you go like,
let's stay on that a little bit. When you were going through that phase, what did you do? Did you make steps to change that? It did not work, so you decided to go back to Okatakyie?
Yes, I took steps. Okay, so there's something that I want to warn parents. I think you have to do well not to compare your kids. Because no two kids are the same. No two kids. So I have a brother who is very quiet and silent, and so I wanted to be like Miriam, just so I can be loved. And it ends up saying Miriam you do baby no she weak. When I wanted to be like, and this wheat and it makes you calm. So yes, this wedge me. Oh, you did this. But I try the seed of wisdom. Chama go try the seed of wisdom. Near hallucination and all that. This is not me. So yes, I took steps, but with time I came to accept myself that I'm just who I am.
Who you are. That's beautiful. Let's go back to your career in media. At what point did you decide to stop acting? Because you did that.
Yes, I did
a
few movies.
Yes, and then commercials here and there.
Right.
At what point did you decide that I want to be that voice, that powerful voice on radio talking about important things that change lives of Ghanaians? At what point did you decide that?
I have been a ship on the sea and allowing the waves of the sea to direct me to the shore. It's not as though I woke up and I say tomorrow I'm going to become this or that or this. I've always been a public spirited person. So almost everything I do has to be something concerning human beings. Even when I was young as 12 or 11, we used to do this Jesus play where I was the Jesus. And I had disciples, So growing up, I remember I told my big sister, Nanekuya, there is a man called Lawyer Ohinijan. Nanekuya is my big sister, so married to Lawyer Ohinijan. But then, when I was coming back from Pantsibim left, right, center, I told Nanekuya to tell Lawyer Ohinijan that I wanted to do radio, media. That one did not. I'm picking. Now, movies, miracle films. And also, we call her. I'm picking. They probably miracle films will meet me and say, "Hey, I'm going. Never so better office here. Can be you super." But nobody sees the greatness of a person. So.
Absolutely.
So fast forward, we did a little bit of movies, Waka Pass here and there, Silver Line production. Yet I didn't feel fulfilled. I always felt there was something much more greater. Then I ended up on TV. Doing commercials, like you said. I did quite a few other things. So there was this program called Tuatuahine that I started on GH1 with Mr. Wincott. But I was communicating something very important to the people through comedy, making it a bit jovial. But I realized that the people were enjoying the comical aspect of it without having to pay attention to the things that I want to communicate to them.
And you were being intentional about what you wanted
I was
to
being intentional about using comedy to propagate a certain message.
Yeah.
Yet they were enjoying the comedy. I mean, you know this country and how almost everything they turn it into comedy. And
yeah.
so one day I sat there and said, no, I think if I want to be taken serious and the people will hear what I want to say, I need to rebrand and move away from. So I moved away from into a Tuahine setup. Then fast forward, I end up on radio, where you used to love a lot.
Yeah. I loved it.
And I ended up on Happy FM.
Yes.
I was on Happy FM for 4 years,
Yes.
from 2016 to 2020.
Yes.
I thought at some point I had done what Napoleon couldn't do, because when I was going to Happy FM, it was a far sports station, a far left sports station. Then I moved it not to a center, but at least to a far right political station. Yeah. When they got to a certain point, there was nothing for me to do, and quite a few other things that were stifling my creativity and imagination, so I left it.
You left there.
Then I went to XYZ.
Yes.
And also as someone here needs to go up there. Why are we building a nation where there is too much divisiveness? Like there is a straight line, nobody goes here, nobody comes here. So I said, I know it's a porous station, it's a straight NDC station. Yeah. But if in Penny 4 wait to meet your contract more or top of what, then nothing should stop me from going there. Yeah. So I went to XYZ for 1 year and some months, almost 2 years. But I came to realize that in the course of me wanting to change the narrative, it came as though I was campaigning for a certain political party, that is NDC. Yeah. That wasn't my motive. Yeah. Because when I sat with my former boss, Julius, I made my intentions very clear that it is about me coming to work, me speaking against the ills of the government. Yes. If in the course of doing that, it favors your Mohammed's cause or your party, I don't really care. And that has always been me. Even on Angel FM, 1 month to election, I was still doing same, talking about Galamsey, doing left, right, center. But like I said, people began to watch it through the lens of Oya campaign because of the platform. Absolutely. And certain other, background informations that I wouldn't like to share. I decided that let me quit, because it's not even worth it. Because if the people believe that, oh, he's gone for some money, he's gone for this, that's why he's campaigning for Jomama, and yet the reality is different from it, then why am I still there? So I just left XYZ. Then I came to Angel FM. Yes. Angel FM, I was there for the same almost 2 years into, and one thing led to another. I decided that our interest at this point, because in the run-up to the election, I was very vocal about who I belong, where I belong, who I think must be voted for. And I believe that the company also had their own vision, have their own interest, where our interest does not align. I don't believe that I still must be there, so I left. Okay. I'm currently doing For the Records. For the Records. It's causing trouble webinar. Yeah, we'll get to For the Records very soon. However, we have seen a lot of this, these changes in your life, one station to another, and that has been attributed to your very vocal nature and also your decision to stay with one political party. And I was speaking to someone earlier before we got here, and the person said, "Oh, do you know that he actually campaigned for the NPP?" I'm like, this gentleman has been. I've been campaigning for NPP for talking about being with the NPP right from the word go. So right you being at XYZ was actually a surprise to a lot of people. However, your communications on the platform did give people the idea that you left the NPP, and your decision to hit the back of the political party also made them a little unpopular at the time. Would you agree to that? And some of it, I would say, that might have contributed to the loss. Hallelujah. What do you mean by that? If what I said contributed to the loss, it wasn't as though I was lying about anything. But that's a political party you belong to. I don't care. When we seek the people's power, what we are saying is that we want to make their lives better. And so some of my party members will say, "Oh, you painted the party black." I said, "But why did you give me the paint? I'm having a brush, you gave me the paint, and I painted you black." So here is it. Any day, anytime when we seek for the power of the people, yes, we are supposed to make their lives better. Okay. If you don't use it to better the lives of the people, but you use it at the detriment of the people, I will speak against it. It doesn't matter which political party, even if it's my politician, so what? I believe that political parties should not be a vehicle, a conduit for other people to enter into where they use it for the wrong things. So if we genuinely believe that it is for the greater good of the people that we've come, and somebody is stealing the money of the people, somebody is being corrupt, siphoning the resources of the people for his personal gains, why can't we all speak against it, that we don't stand for this? So for me, I was speaking my truth. Even the cause of speaking my truth, it made my party unpopular. Why were they? So the problem, and sometimes I don't even see the logic. The problem is not the people who were causing the issue, but the problem is me who were. And in any case, why are we all zombies? That when we're in a political party, all of us must be whipped in line, we must be praise singing. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I believe that the only way, and it's very clear for you to see, if they had listened to me, maybe we wouldn't have gone into an election and suffered the kind of humiliating defeat that we suffered. Almost everyone and then became a bootlicker, bootlicking the president, praise singing the president, even when the president is doing something wrong. I have never believed in that. So the people around me, I keep telling them that me bomb a red empire, that I don't wake up to a day where people around me will not tell me, will not be able to tell me the truth. Even the downers of person around me, I keep telling them, be my friend. When you think I have something wrong I'm doing, speak to me. Then I will add that, not that I will take it, but you speak to me.
Just tell me.
You just tell me.
I might
take it when I go. So I believe that every leader needs a person like me who will speak freely to your face without having to. But I realized my party leadership at that time were sitting on some tall white horses who wanted their egos to be fed. So whatever you say, they won't listen.
Do we have a you in the NDC?
I don't know, and I don't care.
You haven't identified anyone like that would whip this government into line if they're going out of place. Since you,
I believe my senior brother Bubi Ansa is trying to do same, and he's been honest. I mean, he is my senior. He is one of the reasons I got on radio. Whenever I listen to him, there was something that got awakened in me. People were listening to him the days of Asempa in the afternoon, and probably they were enjoying it. But whilst I listened to him on Asempa FM, I got something awakening in me that I think I can do better. And I came in and I'm doing it.
You're doing your thing. So let's go back into this conversation again, still in politics. As far back as 2022, I believe, is when this conversation of Galamsey started. From where I remember it started all the way to 2023, then 2024, it became big because it was an election year.
And people were capitalizing.
Absolutely. You had, staged, conversations to get people to understand what was going on with Galamsey. You have also been on the ground. We've seen videos of you in the forest, dealing with some people on the ground, and they're like, listen, at the time, people were talking about the chiefs being involved in this Galamsey conversation. Why were you so passionate? Again, you're Ghanaian, so it's right for you to want to fight for some, but there's been a very long conversation from years back that people didn't think that, we're achieving anything with this talk. Why were you so passionate about going on the ground and putting your life on the line? Because we saw where you were at, and I was like, it's way to be people with this one.
Well, Mimi, something surely must kill a human being. Somebody will be having a bedtime stuff, and they die. People get accident and they die. So if I am fighting for a cause, and in the course of doing that I die, what is so special about it? Kwame Nkrumah is gone, Mandela is gone, important human beings are gone, Okatakyie goes tomorrow, and so what. I think sometimes we become so self-centered, selfish, that we think we are so important that we must preserve ourselves for the... No, I don't believe in that. I believe I am an atom in the whole equation of the world, for which reason whatever I believe I must do to contribute my quota to the development of the people, I will do it, regardless of the fears that comes with it, regardless of the dangers that comes with it. Now, me putting my life on the line and going to Galamsey side, unveiling, if you ask me why I did it, I don't know. I think about when I set my mind that I want to do something, I do it without considering the repercussions of it. I don't really consider.
Tell me what happened that day. Maybe we'll figure it out together.
The cry was so loud. Every time I listen to the people, when the call for something is so loud, the cry about Galamsey was so loud, the people were crying, the leadership was not listening. I felt, okay, I have a platform. If I should join the people who are crying. Of course, it's not as though I live in these Galamsey areas for which I am directly affected. But just like Martin Numuela once said, when they come for the Jews and you say you are not Jew, you won't speak. When they come for trade unionists, you say you won't speak. And they will come for you. And the problem happening is not far from us. We will all get affected by virtue of relations with people or by indirect contact with people. So I said, you know what, let me join it. Let's raise awareness. Let's see if my government will do something about it. Unfortunately, it looks as though because the problem has compounded, it has been there for years, from the 70s. We've become a nation with no direction. We keep going round in circles, and for that matter, when even something starts, we are not able to nip the thing in the bud, and it becomes an economical issue. And now the Galamsey thing, it's become two states, a security issue and economical issue. How do you address it? Are you sacking the people to go and do what? Because now that has become their livelihood. How do you create alternative livelihood, source of livelihood for them? And our people don't have any clue. They don't have an idea. There's something called Dutch disease. That is where we are gradually getting to. Okay? Where it looks like the low-hanging fruit, one natural resource that we have is all we are putting our energy on, and we survive today. We are happy the CD is appreciating and everybody is clapping without asking the relevant questions that how can magically CD appreciate in the course of 3 months? It's unrealistic. It is because we've put our energy all behind one natural resource, and what it's doing is that it is taking our minds off the other parts of our natural resources we could have built. And a time will come, our trade will suffer. A time will come, other parts of the economy, cocoa. Nobody cares about cocoa again today. Because we are enjoying from the proceeds of gold through illegal mining activities. There is doom ahead. There's some big doom ahead for this nation.
So for you, this big conversation about the CD appreciating is not...
It doesn't excite me because I understand what it takes. I understand how the world works. I'm not the usual guy that probably... And I'm saying that if CD is appreciating, it should be realistic. I'm not an economist. But if you say within 5 months, a city that was fighting to dollar around 15 point something, all of a sudden it's at 9 and we are all clapping. The government should come and tell us, what measures have they put in place to be able to see the city rapidly appreciate in that? It doesn't make sense. Economically, it doesn't make sense. It is because they are burning the gold reserves there, vis-a-vis that of the trade war going on between America and China and all that. But people don't have an idea what it means, the international geopolitics, the trade war going on, the kind of effects it has on our country. They don't have an idea. So for political slogans and all that, we are taking credit. You are burning your reserves just to back the city and come and have slogans to go and tell the people. The doomsday is ahead. I'm not a prophet of doom, but cut it and put it somewhere. The doomsday is ahead.
You've staged demonstrations that you personally haven't been a part of physically.
Right.
You want to name some of them? I probably have an idea, and I'm
almost every demonstration that has gone on in this country that I believed in, I joined. I'm not a person that sits on radio and make noise and sit on TV. I'm a grounds person as well. That is how come we say that some crybabies sit in exile and they begin to make noise even when you call them that they should be on the ground, fight with the people. They don't have what it takes. They don't have the temerity. They don't have the courage to be able to do it. So Fix the Country demonstration 1 and 2, I was with them. The one that happened in Accra, the one that happened in Takoradi. I was there, present. I was integral. It wasn't even as though I was with them. I was integral part of the people that organized it. That is what people lose sight of.
Yes.
That before Oliver Baka became the face of Fix the Country demonstration, pretty much who knew Oliver Baka in Ghana? Nobody knew Oliver. It was after Fix the Country demonstration that probably he wrote a few other things on social media. And my government being so loose, they went after him for necessary things. They used state power to go after Oliver. Then Oliver became popular at some point. I left the Fix the Country thing because it was losing its focus and what the purpose for which we formed it. Then I left and I proceeded. Aside Fix the Country, I mean, e-levy, when we have to go to Parliament and all, I was at the forefront of it. I fought against it. I didn't believe in that nonsense.
In the e-levy?
The e-levy demonstration that we went to Parliament, I was at the forefront. It wasn't somebody lead. I was at the forefront. But Ghanaians, short memory, like our president said, we don't remember most of the things I've done. And I don't blame them. With time, truth, all these things going around, your friend Moti Amframa, you see that from it comes the whirlwind that comes very it would suddenly come pick all the polythene bags and leave the polythene bags in the air and it settles, okay? So me, I'm like the polythene bags, the whirlwind is picking. They will make all the noise. Kateche, wanye, kateche. But it will leave me in the air. You will leave me in the minds of the people. One day the people will remember me for the great things that I did, not the bad things you are saying I did. So I understand all of that. Beyond that, just recently,
yes,
when even I have a problem, you know, a prima semunti, you could pay your metal, na menya problem on my spine. I sometimes don't even care about all these health implications of me walking long to make a statement, and I still go ahead and do it. 2020, at some point when we're doing Fix the Country, what most people don't know, I was going through one of the hardest phases of my personal life with my family. That anybody who goes through that phase probably cannot survive it. And yet I was at the forefront fighting for the people. By the tweak of it, the people will come after you, and I mean, being human, you lose it, you go like, but it is human nature, all throughout human nature. I give you an example. In 1939, Western Churchill of England, okay, was Adolf Hitler was going to wipe the whole of British Empire away. And Winston Churchill stood up and said, I think I can face Adolf Hitler. He came in, he gave it to Adolf Hitler by inviting the Americans and the Russians in, using strategy to beat Adolf Hitler, conquer Germany. And guess what? When the war ended in 45, by 46, everybody would have thought that somebody who has done such a great thing for you people, you will do what? You put him back in, but they voted against him. It took 6 years, 1952, for the people to say, Winston, we want you, Churchill, we want you back, and they brought you back as a prime minister. So I believe that at some point, the people are just what they are, human beings. They naturally get tired of, and they change. I understand the psychology of human beings. I understand it. That is how come President Mahama, all of a sudden, the people say, oh, come back, as though he's some angel we've never seen. You get the point? Okay. It is the human psyche. That is how it operates. It gets tired of things quite easily. And with time, it begins to switch towards. So I've done a lot for this country. I've devoted my time to fight for the people. In any case, they keep insulting me that, oh, Akwawe Noka, if MPP, if I'm not patriotic, how then do you have my voice that is speaking against my own party?
Political party,
And that is not going to stop me. If my party does anything untoward, I'll probably speak against. I'll tell them my peace of mind.
But we've seen a lot of things they're doing lately, so we're going to be asking you about that.
Right.
But about the demonstration, finally, you recently had one, and you are constantly on social media. You saw what they said about your demonstration.
That one.
That it was not successful. People didn't show up. Why do you think that was? If that's what the case?
What is the whole idea of demonstration?
To send a message across. You were talking about Galamsey.
But we have had demonstrations that one people go on one-man demonstrations. So what is this? It's all to create awareness. A demonstration that I went and the whole country talked about it. A demonstration that the president had to respond to it. TUC had to speak about it. And you say it wasn't successful. Well, I don't know why we've become so fixated with the idea of bashing people. And you and I know, these two political parties, but for bashing people to demonstrations. Mimi, but for bashing people to demonstrations, they will not even have the kind of numbers I had. And we've become a nation where we've gone engulfed in. If you are going on demonstration for it to be successful, we are mad. Meanwhile, that demonstration, all the media houses were there. Several millions of people were watching it at home. All of them. What we wanted to do was to create awareness about something that is. Even if nobody came and I was the only one that went for the demonstration, so what? I believe in the cause and I'm fighting for the cause. And you see, millions of people did not come, so it was not successful. You must have some wool in your head somewhere, cotton wool in your head somewhere, to begin to have these conversations. And it's a propaganda tool. So the political class begin to shift away from the core matter and begin to touch on the periphery and say that, oh, numbers. But okay, so F the numbers, okay? Let's talk about what is the guy saying. Is it true that people are in our forest destroying it? Is it true that our water bodies are being destroyed? That is the core matter. Let's discuss it. If you have solutions to them, then you present them. Why have we left that one, put it aside, and now we are focusing on whether demonstration, I don't get perturbed by these kind of conversations. I don't. I'm so, you see, you know me. You've been my friend for a while. The kind of brain I have in my head, if the people knew, I don't get moved by these comments. When I am certain in my mind,
yes,
and almost everybody is going this way, Left with me alone, when I'm certain in my mind I have to go left, nothing will change it. I'll go left.
You go left.
No, I'm not just a social being who wants to belong. I don't.
Interesting. Now, the position of the minority in Parliament has made people start talking about the MPP.
Right.
Because back in the day, I remember very well when I wanted to get into politics, someone told me, oh, MPP na, MPP. That's where they empower people to go to school, to study, to become, important people, not just, playing politics just for the namesake, but they understand politics, they live politics, they are diplomats. But very recently, I mean a couple of days ago, we saw a minority in Parliament, boycott Parliament to go and support your Ashanti. Wontumi. And they were on the floor. People were talking about how the minority has positioned themselves as a people. Do you have any other reservations about what the political party MPP is looking like right now? You started your thank you tour. That also didn't go as far as we thought a major political party like the NPP would have gone. We saw the division in people wanting to leave the thank you tour, and at some point it just didn't happen again. What is your state of mind about the NPP right now?
I think MPP, just like almost every social organization, has its own ups and it has its own downs. Every social organization in the world has a point where they will peak, okay? And it has a point where there is the law of diminishing marginal returns. You certainly will come down, really. I mean, what we are facing right now is usual. It's not an usual thing. Every political party all over the world, when you go to Britain, the Labour and Conservative, they probably will find their way getting all landslide victory. The next moment, they've lost all seats to the other parties. We are undergoing a phase, okay? And through this is when organic leadership of the party will pop out again. Okay. So just like NDC after the 2016 election, they underwent a phase and they faced their own demons and they dealt with it. We are facing ours. Nature has a way of always getting things done. We shouldn't force it. People will fall off naturally. People will also grow out of it. Then leadership will be fine-tuned and we will move forward. I believe we are having some crisis within the party, which is natural. We must be honest with ourselves. Because of the defeat we had, even the grassroots base of the party, they are a bit dumbfounded, if that's for want of a better word. But with time, they will all come around and we will reposition. But suffice to say that our party must be deliberate about reinstilling the canon, the principles and the ideals on which the party was built. So I am proposing more or less like an ideological institute that will continuously be shaping the conversations we have about our party. It is becoming much more of a jamboree party, mimicking, we are not like the NDC. The NDC was born out of a revolution without any proper, so that's why they call themselves Congress. Even that, they are trying to shape their image now to become more like a elite, well-respected party. We are losing that touch of elite, well-respected conservative party, now becoming more like some cadre comrade. We don't believe that's not our ideals. The principles, the ideals on which the likes of Victor Usu, Aram Ponsa, Darocha, they built this party, I think we are losing it a little bit. But like I said, every human institution has its own downside. Some point in our history, we will come back. We've been there before. Okay. 1979, when Victor Usu was supposed to be there. Victor Usu would have been a fantastic president. He comes from my hometown, that is Agona. We had a division. Pauli here, Victor Usu here. The same way we had a division where Bahumia is here, Alan is here. So we've been through that phase before. And when we went for the election, we suffered. It took about 32 years or so because of the truncation of democratic rule, and it took about 2 years for us to get to power around 2000. This one, if there is no truncation of power by politics, I mean by coup d'etat and all that, it doesn't need to take that much for the party to reorganize itself, fine-tune things and come back. It will be attractive again. Let's allow nature to take its course. Yes. New people will crop up. Okay. Leaders will form naturally.
Okay.
Nature will take our leaders and put them back together. And the people themselves will believe in somebody, will believe in a group of people and say,
let's give it to this
let's
person.
give it to this person and lead us.
Right.
And that is where we are heading to.
And talking about that, very recently we saw Kennedy Japan,
Open the Asabuba.
It's Kennedy Japan and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Whose side are you on now?
I believe that is not a conversation we should be having right now.
Yeah?
The conversation we should be having is the kind of reforms that we want to have in our party.
But in your party, you need a leader.
Strengthen. Before the leader will come, leadership is a cone. It's supposed to be a cone.
Okay.
Where you build the grassroots build the next, they build the next, then they put a leader at the top.
Okay.
You cannot put the person at the top when the grassroots or the down is weak.
So you're not on anyone's side
So
for now.
it's not about not being. I probably know who I probably will be with.
But you don't want to talk about it.
This is not the moment to be having these conversations.
Why is that?
The conversations that needs to be had. How are we going to bring the reforms to be able to widen our polling station elections? How are we going to bring reforms in the processes in electing our leadership? So it is corruption-free process. We don't need to be paying people, because when you do that, what happens is that at the general election, people get peeved that you are paying people so much for them to go and vote for you to become a member of parliament, parliamentary candidate. Well, we get nothing. Meanwhile, we all have one vote. So now the conversations we should be having is about how to reform the party into totality. It's not about who becomes a leader. When we have done so, and the party is well grounded, and the grassroots base is solid, the energy is whipped up, anybody at all, when we give power to the person, can win as power. Yes. Okay. Without that, we can choose the strongest person, Kennedy Japan, Bawumia, Kwabena Japan, whoever. When we do so, and yet the grassroots base, there is no energy, how the person win election? And it's not a one-man thing, it's a collective approach.
But you think the party is taking those steps now?
Yeah, I know conversations are going on behind the scenes where they are talking about reforms. When they are done, they will go to Congress and probably we will pass a resolution on those reforms. And hopefully we will get there.
You get there.
Now, a leader naturally will come.
Okay, I'll wait to see who you support, because I'm interested in that. I'm interested in who.
I'll declare. I'll be honest and declare.
I would wait for that.
When it gets there.
Yes,
when
the time gets there. So note that when it breaks, I'll be talking about it. Okay. Now, still on some of the controversies that you've had to be mixed up very recently, you and Kevin Taylor. And I'm saying that trying to cover my mouth, because you have said constantly that this fight, you're not backing down on it until you get, because we're getting somewhere. You know we're getting somewhere. What happened? Why did you start this fight?
You see, putting our names in the same sentence sort of makes me uncomfortable.
Oh my God, I'm sorry about that. But
oh no, it's okay. It's not. I'm saying that the reason it makes me uncomfortable is that it looks like the people don't understand exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
So this is a human being who lives outside the territorial jurisdiction of our country. He lives on the soil of America. He knows that what he is doing through the internet, if he is to do it in America, he cannot survive a day by doing the things he does. Inciting tribes against the other, body shaming women, going after them, ridiculing them, insulting them, abusing them. So all this while he had been doing it, and I had no reason to, because I did not even follow him. Somebody who, in a strip of a sentence, cannot make logical, coherent analysis of issues. It needs to be one in so I cannot find myself listening to them. Right. So until one day I woke up, and he had brought the thing to my doorstep. Okay, I didn't understand where it was coming from. This guy was insulting me and insulting. In any case, I have not held any position in government before. So if you say that you are fighting for the people, and for that reason you are going after people who are doing wrong, why do you come after me? In the event that you think I've even done anything wrong, for that reason you have to come after me. Stick to me, deal with me. How then do you rope in my wife, my kids, my mother? So I said, okay, there's something wrong somewhere. This is not journalism. This is character assassination. This is political assassin who is the... So then he will go as far as people among all kind of he will insult them. So when you brought it to my doorstep, I had a first-hand info how that thing affects homes. Okay? But for my wife knowing me and me, I'm an open book. Whatever you see is what you get. The kind of lies this guy will spew with confidence and courage, you believe it. I said, so this is what he's been doing in people's homes. For instance, Adubuahi has been caught that he's done corruption act using national BNI and all that. What has that got to do with? Adubuahi, we know that David one will do one person. What he's trying to do is that he weaponized sex in the conversation. So his weapon away German for. Why have we accepted this nonsense as journalism? And because Ghanaians naturally we are bitter people, Ghanaians naturally we self-hate, we hate ourselves. When somebody is abusing other people, because be abusing, putting people's kids there, abusing them, and we don't see anything wrong with it. So I said, no, this guy has brought it to me. I understand how he feels like. I understand how he abuses innocent people. He abuses them.
But for this situation, when it got to you, you wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have understood the gravity of the nonsense he was doing.
Yeah, because nobody was also fighting for those people.
Nobody was fighting for them. And I tell you, Mimi, the kind of things this guy. Look, if you're a Vim lady, he will put Vim lady's husband there, insult him. What has Vim lady's husband got to do with the nonsense you want to tell if you're Pukuya? And he left like this, their marriage would have collapsed. Because for him, if you are doing journalism and you want to insult a Pukuya, insult a Pukuya. What has the husband, the kids got to do? And as a nation, we've accepted this stupidity, this nonsense that what is journalism because it's favoring a certain group of people politically. Really? So I said, I'm not going to back down on this. Look, if it's left with me alone, I will let the people know this idiot for who he is. And forgive my French, I need to be so blunt. And look, Mimi, I'll tell you what. The guy, about 99% of the things this guy says is a lie. Complete falsification. But you see, he doesn't live in the jurisdiction. And he knows people don't have what it takes to say America, so he says anything and he goes scot-free. He cannot sit in this country and say the things that he says, knowing that the courts will be awaiting him. There will be so many rates awaiting him. He can't do that. But he has that kind of freedom. And you see, you know that even on American soil, it's against the laws of America for you to sit on the soil of America and be inciting other people against others.
Right.
That is called local terrorism. You are terrorizing the people. So I've told him that if he doesn't have an idea what I'm made of, I hear people say, even but I'm a and I'll go any length by using all the logic, the kind of knowledge I have, to make sure this guy does not continue to abuse people in their homes the way he does, all in the name of fighting for the country. How does this guy say he's fighting for the country? When in actual fact, but for me unraveling this current situation about this fake doctor thing, this guy would have come to defend, a very stiff defense by saying, oh, she's a doctor. Now, what he does is that anybody who tries to unravel you, come after you, lie about you. If you realize, the moment this doctor thing came, this guy said, oh, I have an expose on medical and dental cancer. It's so huge. So you never had expose on medical and dental cancer until the moment they wrote a letter and said that your doctor is not licensed to practice in Ghana. Are you serious? And that is all. He's talking trade. He goes after people. Lie. The people. And I feel so sad. They don't even understand what he's doing to them. For the past 3 years, this guy has been on my case. If you think 3 years from 2023 or so, 2023, the early years of 2023, so almost 3 years, this guy has been on my case. No single evidence has been he comes and says, oh, Okatakyie will go to jail. And the people believe that, yes, Okatakyie is going to jail. Without providing any, suit number saying that this case was filed here and there. He keep on lying. He will go to jail. He will go to jail. And I'm in the house and people are calling me, oh, Charlie, you will go to jail. And I'm like, Nobody questions this guy. Okatakyie kwaji China for sika, attorney general friend for a case. He couldn't come, and I'm like, So the guy is throwing propaganda into the air, abusing people, and beyond that, the kind of things he's doing to the brain of the NDC supporters largely. You will be shocked. If only they knew that about 99% of the things that this guy says is a lie. I'm sure the people would, but of course, the people can reason. Short memory. They listen. They don't judge. I give you an example. This guy came when he started first. He said, "Oh, Akwawe Nikotiawu ontime ngoma." Because he didn't have an idea I had kids. Then somebody called him and said, oh my baby. After the next minute, no attorney, Akwawe, Wawosa and Kramai, and people didn't ask. So the first one he said, Okatakyie. No, a movie, na ne yire no pepamere wato na de. So this guy doesn't have anything. He only spills, throw the gossip thing in there. Mimi, I'm not backing down anytime, so I'm fighting for the rights of others.
Whilst we talk about this conversation, this expose you did a couple of days ago that has gotten the entire country talking, gotten the president to revoke the appointment of this young lady. You want to touch a little bit on your relationship with this lady. What did you see when you were together with her? I know you're a very gentleman, and I want to say this on camera. You're a very gentleman. You probably wouldn't have gotten into the into talking about this lady because we've seen this before, where you were touted a woman beater, and there was very little you said about that relationship. And so again, I want to establish that. But what was it like being around the young lady? What did you know, and why did you sit on that information, knowing that she was in this country, posing to be a doctor?
I know now people want to say that you knew all these things.
Exactly.
So our friendship was short-lived. It was like some 3 months sort of friendship. And the reason that I left our friendship then was because of some of these things. I saw some traces of behavior, character that I couldn't associate myself with. So I left. I left as I'm supposed to. With time, I thought it was because she had lied to me that these were post-divorce repercussions and all that. So I was feeling sympathetic towards her. That maybe with time she would stop. But as we were getting closer in friendship, I realized that no, that is not it. It's actually her stock in trade, her nature, and I left. Mimi, we all know things that one way or the other, if it does not affect the larger group of people, you don't really care, okay? So some of the things she does, I knew that karma will catch up with her someday though. But would I want to be the one to lead that chat when I've been friends? And I have 2 principles when it comes to friendship. Either I'm committed to the friendship and I respect the friendship. So 2 things. I can decide not to be committed to. I can decide. You and I at some point, I said that we're not going to be friends again. And for like 6 months, 1 year, we're not talking. Until one day we decided we're going to talk.
Okay.
So at that point, nobody can force me to be committed to friendship. But I believe any logical human being must have some respect for friendship. That in the course of you being friends, if you got any information, which is a privileged information, you don't come out spewing it at the click of a button. So this girl, well, I mean, of course, went behind Kevin Taylor, saying all manner of nonsense and truth spreading false. I kept saying that. Don't do it. Stop it. I don't like. When you do that, you are drawing a bad energy out of me. And then every man like myself is a king and a beast. Decide which one you want to deal with. I have a king and I have a beast in me. Decide which one you want to deal with at any point in time. Because when you decide that you want to see the beast in me, it will slowly wake up. Don't think that because it has taken time to wake up. So I said, don't do what you guys are doing. I don't like it. They falsified some WhatsApp chat when you, somebody that I've been friends with, even beyond the fact that we are no longer what we used to be, once in a while we check up on each other. So I leave it at that. Then one day I got to realize that you've been sending your ex-guys to Kevin Taylor to insult them, and I said, even that I'm not angry. I come and advise you nicely and say, you need to stop this thing about taking your exes to Kevin Taylor. I come and see the level of insults that were heaped on me. I got angry at some point. I lost my cool and I told them my peace of mind because I thought it was nonsense to be doing that. The next moment, and sextortion. And look, what people don't know, Kevin Taylor, most of the things he presents to the people, editing, just like this lady have been doing. And that is what they do, the 2 of them. It's criminal syndicate. They can edit WhatsApp chats, they can edit anything and put it out there. This whole PDS thing where he came to say there's trainer in Manila and the WhatsApp chat that he was showing, it was edited. So I said, stop it. I don't like it. Because I know what I know. I knew the information long before. But if he had not come to the scene where she was going to be appointed to such a sensitive position, and this is a lady who is so criminal in mind that she can falsify so many. Look, there's a story where she went for somebody's car, okay, and later falsified documents onto the car to go and take money from her. So I know the level to which she can go. And if we allow such a criminal character to go and sit at such a sensitive position.
So you knew about this appointment before?
I got it. That's how come I even came out. Probably wouldn't have come out the way I came out. So I got a hint that they were going to appoint her to a position. I wasn't too sure where.
Okay.
And I said, no, this can't happen. So that's the only reason I came out, started speaking out. That no. And lo and behold, about 2 days when I had done this expose, I wake up and they say, she's been appointed to the board of NHI as a doctor. I said, no, this guy is no doctor. For not being a doctor, I know this long ago. But it has nothing to do with me, so I wasn't bothered. But I cannot sit down as a citizen of our nation and not speak about it. Then I'll be doing a great disservice to my nation.
Right. But do you know for a fact if she practiced at any point in this country?
For that, she did. She did.
She did.
Yes, the evidence is there. Even this guy, that the ex-boyfriend, Dr. Wask, or whatever they call his name, that made Kevin Taylor lie about bring the guy's mother, bring the guy's father. And Ghanaians are not questioning. Ghanaians are not telling Kevin Taylor that this is stupidity. Why do you go and bring people's mothers, fathers, abusing them in the name of what? Fighting for the people. So the girl has been practicing. The evidence is there. And nobody should come and tell her she has not been practicing what.
Okay. Because I think there's going to we're going to get to a point where they probably would have to invite you to answer questions.
No, even beyond the fact that she was practicing or not. It is within Act 857.
Okay.
Okay? Section 48 of Act 857 clearly spells out that even holding yourself as a doctor, a medical doctor with a title, is a criminal offense. When you have not been integrated, you've not undergone the procedures and the processes that integrate you into the medical and dental council. And you call yourself a doctor. The way she was throwing the doctor thing around, my name is a doctor, and the sons are dairy. Meanwhile, you are not a doctor. So that is criminal offense on its own.
When the evidence that wasn't very nice.
No, but it's the truth. My name is Doctor.
That's not very nice.
No, I'm not a doctor.
That's not very nice.
So the criminal aspect of it, we are waiting for the CID to take the matter.
Yes. As a friend, I sat back twice in a row. You were arrested or invited. Which one?
No, it was.
Was it an arrest?
Doesn't even qualify to be arrested or invited. It was kidnapping. Because it doesn't fall within any of the remits. Because if you are going to arrest somebody, the law makes it clear the processes you are supposed to go for a warrant. When you go for a warrant, you touch the person. You tell them why you are arresting them. You tell them their legal rights as to you having the right to a legal counsel.
Yes.
So if you come and you say that, you will not allow me to call my counsel, you won't tell me why you are taking me, there is no arrest, that is kidnapping. And the elements to prove kidnapping and imprisonment is clearly there. Section, I think, 88 or so, 88, 89 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act is there. So what happened was no arrest, it was kidnapping. Twice in a row, kidnapping.
Have you decided to follow it legally, to pursue this case legally?
Some of these things, I won't waste my time.
You won't waste your time on it.
It won't go anywhere, so I'll waste my time.
Why did you say it won't go anywhere? It's within your rights to...
Because when these things are done, it is you versus the state. And the state always has a way of getting its way.
But what was the case behind all of these?
The first one, they said I had gone to say that national security people are doing galamsey, so I should come and help them. If you want me to come and help you to unravel them, as you come with AK-47s and all that. But it's a lie. It was a way of trying to instill some fear in me, thinking that was a... But when you do that, there's this big man of mine who told them that this guy, because it's my nature. When you try to intimidate or scare me, that is when I do the worst.
Interesting.
My mother would tell me, hey,
and the second?
In a second.
The second time you were...
They wanted access to my phones and gadgets so they could have the kind of information that I am. So they lied. Kevin Taylor and the lady lied to them that sextortion nonsense, as if I sit here and if I want any woman I want to have, I don't know what it takes to have a woman, that I will go back to an ex and say, if you don't want to come back, I'm going to put your naked videos online. Am I crazy?
That never happened.
But you looking at me, do I look like a guy who do that kind of crazy?
Don't include me this
No, are you, Mimi? I mean, come on. Mimi looking at me.
I'm looking at you.
I'm on for Afrifa. Fanboy. Fanboy, I'm a deep voice, kakra. Ketua bi e wo say umuto mo. Ketua bi umuto. Are you serious? I will not be crazy.
You didn't do that.
But they framed that story. That nonsense. I mean, as usual, stock in trade. Lied their way through. They edited, they submitted some evidence to, supposed evidence to. Then they arrested me. They had my phones. I gave them. They said they are studying the docket. I'm sure when they studied the docket, they realized that this is foolishness. So I don't know where the docket is. And yet this guy was going all rampage and saying, "Oh, Oko jail."
Anyway, let's get away from that conversation. What's next for Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah?
I don't even know what's next at this moment as we sit here. I don't know what is
next.
All
politically, because again, people, I'm pretty sure you've heard this before, that you're building all of these conversations because you want a position, you want to pursue politics, on whatever level you deem respectable. Let me put it that way. So you're either going to be vying for the presidency at some point, MP one day or something. That's why you do what you do.
Ghana no will be a citizen chair will be. Maybe. Nobody is more citizen than the other.
Yeah.
We all owe Ghana the same percentage. If you have 100% of Ghana, I have 100% of Ghana. If you have one, I have one. And the people who play this game of politics are they better than me? In which shape, form, or anywhere are they better than me? Is it intellectual firepower? Is it personality? Is it voice? Is it what? But of course, when they see you doing public spirited things, then they'll begin to ask, this guy wants to enter into politics. At any given point, when I wake up, what I feel is what I'll do. If I wake up tomorrow and I feel like I have to enter into politics, I will enter into politics. If I wake up and I want to become MP, I will vie for it, and I know my people will vote for me and I'll become. If I wake up and I think I want to become president, and I'll become president. Okay. But like I'm saying, you don't even know what will happen in the next minute. Okay. We are all in the hands of the Creator. Whatever our destinies are meant to be. There is an old ancient phrase, "Ke sera sera." What will be, will be. Ebeye di ebeye. There is this security man, one of my security guys. One day I was worried about a situation. I couldn't find a solution to it. I was worrying. Just for my security guy to say, what he says, Nana, ebeye di ebeye. What? The moment Boateng said that to me, I said, that is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So some of the things you don't have control over them. Yeah. As to what I have become, you genuinely think that I want people to be insulting me left, right, center on social media.
I don't think so.
But I am the ebeye. And I believe that whatever I am destined to be in this world, ebeye di ebeye. Maybe I'm here to pave a way for somebody else to come and continue the journey. Yeah. Just like the forebearers did. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you must be in a certain position before you can serve the people. I'm going to be outspoken. When I see something wrong, I'll talk about it in our society. I will be a voice that will shape the conversations around our nation and all. In the course of doing that, if it ends up somewhere else, so be it.
What legacy are you hoping to leave behind if the Maker decides to call you later in life? What legacy are you looking for it to leave him behind?
That guy who died standing. I don't want to die on my knees. I want to die believing in the things I believed in. Whether I was wrong, whether I was right, these were my ideologies. This is my mind, this is my conscience, and this is my conviction. So I want people to remember me for that guy who believed in something and he stood for it and he died for that.
He died for it.
Yeah.
What would be a developed Ghana for you before we end this conversation?
A developed Ghana should be one that has a bigger agenda. Any nation that does not have a bigger agenda that feeds its people into it is a failed state. Even our educational curriculum has any plan. It doesn't feed. You don't just educate your citizenry for the sake of read and write, okay? You must have a plan. You must have a nation. The nation must have a plan. You must have a long-term development goal and say that maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, we want patient to doctor ratio to be maybe 1 to to 25, one to this. So you begin to educate your people towards that cause by saying that, oh, the Ivy League schools, Legon, KNUST, ABCD, now you've done political science for way far too long. You've produced enough political science students to become nonsense in our society. Now we want you to reduce the intake because we need a lot of doctors, a lot of lawyers. But when you don't have a bigger plan, you just educate your people, you churn out hundreds and thousands of these people without knowing what you use them for. I want to see a Ghana that we have a bigger agenda, a bigger plan, and we are following it. A long-term plan, but comes in a short-term, short to medium term, and is coterminous with the governance system that we have. Nobody is able to move away from it. Yes, it will have a little bit of tweak because nature is dynamic and all. But then it doesn't change the core vision that we have. Without having a long-term development goal, whatever we are doing is a fluke, and I don't believe in that. I believe the nation must have a goal, and all of us must come around it. So when we are about to have election, then political parties go around, political party manifesto here, and it's nonsense. No nation is built on manifestos. The nation must have a plan. Then the political parties will come and tell us how they can achieve that plan. It's not as though anybody goes and drinks some wine and appetition in a beer bar, they go and sit down and they write nonsense sloganeer and they say, well, you 24-hour economy. Meanwhile, 24-hour economy, the past 6 months, we've not heard them even speak about it.
Well, they have recently spoken about it.
About what? So even that, when we say economy, what is economy? Economy encompasses so many things. It encompasses aggregate, encompasses natural resources, security, everything is economy. So when you say 24-hour economy, but the same road networks that is available is what you are going to rely on. What is 24-hour economy? The people will be in the same traffic to come to work, and you say 24-hour economy. You are not reasoning. There is no railway transport, there is no water transport and all that, and you say 24-hour economy. The same security force that you have is what you say you are going to use to do 24 hours. What's the ratio of security to the people's population? You don't have any idea. Now, when you come to the banking sector, what is 24-hour economy? Are people going to work at night in the banking sector? What measures have you put in place? It's not a well thought through, it's a sloganeering thing and it won't achieve anything. The nightlife. When you say economy, 24-hour economy, you have no idea. They think it's about people playing music and Wall Street and making money. No, it's not.
It's beyond that.
So we need a national development plan, a long-term one, that all of us will come and follow it. Not this sloganeering nonsense that everybody comes and do what they want and they go away.
So it's for both political parties.
Both political parties.
Everybody comes and says, so we need a national agenda. And then the allegation,
not the penny for hey, that's how the open woman. That's what I like to say, but I would trap people more.
Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah, this has been a fantastic conversation. It's long overdue, right?
Yeah, it's long overdue. You talked about 2 or 3 years ago. I wanted to interview me, and today you had it.
I have.
I hope I made sense.
I hope I made you proud.
Oh yes, you did. And
now, see you out there. Even though
I see more of Nita Eskin in you, and hopefully, and one day I hope you take over from her when she's ready now.
This is so heartwarming. Thank you. Thank you. Now to you out there, this has been Voting Voice. And of course, this is my big one. Call my mother, tell her that I've arrived, okay?
Mama, maybe I'm
arriving. Now when I come to your house, you can't talk to me
anyhow, you know, Kofi Kenyatta's you for the have hunger. You know, I'm so 247.
This has been absolutely fantastic, and thank you so much. You out there, we continue to empower you to understand where this country is going to. We've told you that we are going to be holding this government, accountable. We have stayed on course, we have done our bit, and we hope that you are on your toes as well. Do not be a spectator, be a true citizen of this country. Let's help build this country together, okay? Thank you so much. My name is Miriam Uduack Mensah. This has been Voting Voices.